Hello everyone. In this video we are going to talk about and introduce ratios. So what is the definition of a ratio? A ratio is a comparison of two quantities, and typically you can compare things like two numbers or two measurements that have the same type of units. We'll get to that in just a moment. There are three different ways to write a ratio. The first way, and I'll just pick two random numbers, we can say 7 to 3, and we'll always say it that way, a number or a quantity to another number or quantity. One way to represent a ratio is to say 7 to 3 by the representation of the word to. Another way, we'll still say this as 7 to 3, but the other representation is by using the colon here. Or the more common method would be to write out a ratio as a fraction, 7 to 3. Now this represents the way of writing a ratio as a fraction. When you write a ratio as a fraction, you will always keep a couple things in mind. One is this. It is important when you're writing a ratio that the quantity mentioned first is the numerator, and then the quantity mentioned second is the denominator. So if I was told to write the ratio of 5 to 12 as a fraction, it would be written as 5 over 12. Simply put, just like this. Now, if we are representing ratios as fractions, we always want to make sure that they are written in their lowest terms. An example of that would be something like this. If I was told to write the ratio of 15 feet to 10 feet, got the word 2 there. So if I was to write 15 feet to 10 feet, and it would say, write this in lowest terms. You would say 15 to 10, and then because both these numbers are divisible by 5, we will write this in lowest terms as 3 to 2. And that's all there is to it. Remember to always write ratios in lowest terms. You can write them as fractions. And then the other two representations are 7 to 3 using the word to, or the colon version 7 to 3. And as mentioned before, typically the fraction form is the most common way. The colon here is second common, but it's not as popular, I would say. And then the verbal representation here is the least common. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.